I joined the department, Dearborn's Arab American population was nearly 50%, yet less than 3% of our police force reflected the community that we served. It's now a department that reflects and embraces the community it serves, with 45% of our officers being Arab American.
Yeah, well, you know, when you are a police officer, you kind of have an obligation to serve the American flag first. You take an oath to serve the American flag first.
It's a department that respects the dignity and rights of all individuals, including the right to wear hijab, even when facing the justice system.
Besides the Muslims, which are close to 2 billion, and they are not idol worshippers, almost everybody else are idol worshippers.
Between Chinese, Indian, Hindus, Buddhists, and Christian, at least 6.5 billion people are idol worshippers that, according to the Torah, do not have the right to live. Idol worshipper goy, it's death penalty. Not only Jews, even a goy who bow down to an idol, who believe in JC, deserve death penalty.
I mean, America is a European white country, and I know diversity is the main thing for police officers. A strong law enforcement department today depends on our diversity factor and whether or not we can virtue signal enough. How about we have a Christian country, Christian police departments, Christian Catholic based, 100%, and no Arabs, no Jewish. And again, we keep our country as was.
When I joined the department, Dearborn's Arab American population was nearly 50%. Yet less than 3% of our police force reflected the community that we served. The department was not always welcoming to people who were different. Today, the Dearborn Police Department is the department that I wish I worked for when I first started my career. It's now a department that reflects and embraces the community it serves, with 45% of our officers being Arab American.
But it's like, when you take the oath to the American flag, you take the oath to place the American flag in the U.S. Constitution above any other flag. Any other flag. America comes first, not another flag. And basically, this is what this man is doing. This is a police officer who is a traitor. He should have his gun stripped, his badge stripped, and his power stripped away from him. This is a traitor to law enforcement. This is the reason great police officers can't become police officers, because they want to hire 45% police department, a 45% Muslim Arab police department in Dearborn, Michigan. That makes no sense. This is absolutely insane. This is a takeover. And whether or not you agree with the whole Muslim debate, again, you have pretty much a fine line. You have people who are saying, well, I don't have a problem with the Muslims because I have a problem with Israelis taking over our government. Well, I don't have a problem with the Israelis taking over our government, but I got a real problem with Muslims taking over our government. You have two sides to the spectrum. And really, it's like, well, how about none of them? Like, how about we just, literally defend ourselves? How about we have a Christian country, Christian police departments, Christian Catholic based, 100%, and no Arabs, no Jewish. And again, we keep our country as was, a white European country. This has nothing to do with white nationalism. This is like keeping America first, America first. Why do we have these foreigners coming in to try to take over our police departments now? A 45% Muslim Arab police department in Dearborn, Michigan. That's insanity. And, these are people who don't believe in the U.S. Constitution. These are people who do not believe in our Bill of Rights. These are people who do not understand freedom of speech. If you were to go to, how many videos have you seen on X when you see these people getting recorded and they're freaking out over it? And they're telling you, you cannot record me. And same thing. I mean, honestly, you can't do any of this. And then same thing with Israelis, with the Israelis taking over our country. If you talk or criticize the state of Israel, you talk about the war, you talk about the real genocide that's happening in Gaza or Palestine. Oh, well, you're not allowed to talk about that. So Americans are being hit from two sides here. Europeans. The same thing with the Irish, the Germans, the Swedes. Literally just moved out of Sweden because he said, oh my God, this country is being taken over. He literally said it. He just left this past weekend. So, this is Dearborn, Michigan, and this is what this guy is saying.
It's a department that respects the dignity and rights of all individuals, including the right to wear hijab, even when facing the justice system.
Traitor, we should deal with traitors in a different way than just allowing them to wear the badge and the gun and enforce the law of which they do not even understand. This is an unconstitutional law. This is a traitor. This is treason.
It's a department that is taking meaningful steps to address historical inequity. Together, we've built a police department that values diversity, equity, and respect. One that serves all of Dearborn with honor and integrity. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I'm proud to serve as your chief of police. Less than
One more
3%
time.
of our police force reflected the community that we served. The department was not always welcoming to people who were different. Today, the Dearborn Police Department is the department that I wish I worked for when I first started my career. It's now a department that reflects and embraces the community it serves, with 45% of our officers being Arab American.
These are people who pray in front of churches, Christian churches, with total disrespect. These are people who have said that they are going to inflict jihad on anybody who does not believe in the Muslim faith. And these are people who do not respect the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. These are people who have literally said that they are here to take over. These are people who believe that it is okay to, again, have marriages with a 9-year-old child as a grown man. Again, I'm not totally hateful of Muslims. I respect their culture, but it's like, have it in your own countries and stop coming over to our country, please. Like, go back to your own country. Like again, no problems with these people, but it's like, go back to your own country. Like, seriously, yeah, stop trying to take over the United States. Stop trying to take over our police departments. There will be a revolution for this. And I'm not saying I support violence or anything, but this is a complete and total takeover of America. What a traitor. This is a disgrace of a man, a disgrace of a police officer. He should be stripped of that badge and it should be ripped off of his chest. And this man should go home feeling like a traitor and a non-American every single day, because that's really what he represents. He represents changing the demographics of America, changing the U.S. Constitution. He is not upholding the oath that he took to uphold and defend the Constitution. This is a traitor.
Department that respects the dignity and rights of all individuals, including the right to wear hijab, even when facing the justice system.
So how come in their countries women aren't allowed to show their legs? How come if you go over to Saudi Arabia, women aren't allowed to show their legs? Then I don't understand that, sir. I mean, we think that that's such a virtue that we allow them to wear their hijab and, bring their customs and cultures, and they're aggressive and totally hostile towards America way of life. But if you go over to their country, you get stoned to death. You get basically tortured. Women have no rights, essentially. Kind of insane. Kind of nuts, actually. And so, yeah, kind of weird. This is called cuck. This is called a total traitor. This is called total treason. And again, there used to be a way that we handled these people called traitors. There used to be a way we handled them. This is a traitor to America. And this is not a police officer. And I say that as a police officer, this is an enemy of the state.
It's a department that is taking meaningful steps to address historical inequity. Together,
historical inequity. This is our country. Why? What are you talking about? They have more rights than Americans today. White Europeans today have no rights. What are you talking about? These people don't even have to have jobs. Many of these people don't even work. Many of these people say they are sick. They are sick. They cannot work. And it's like they come over here and they enjoy the EBT card. These people live off of the welfare system. And we say that this is unequal. This is an idiot man that you're looking at right here on the screen in this video. This cop in this uniform is a moron. And this is a liberal. This is what's happened to police departments all across the country. This is treason. This is why our country is going down. Like this is a total traitor. And he should be ashamed of himself. Americans should be pissed off. And you have every right to protest against this. People should be storming the streets of Dearborn, taking their country back. Personally, again, I don't care how peaceful that, these people appear to be or claim to be. It's, you hear them on Twitter. They brag about taking over America all day long. So it's just honestly, listen, I have nothing against the Muslims. What I have against the Muslims is their hatred and disdain towards Christianity. Their ruthless nature of essentially praying in front of churches, Christian and Catholic churches. You see it every day on Twitter. And you got these cops, white police officers, who are just bending over and cucking for this totally different religion out of fear. This is a fearful man that you're looking at on the screen. This is a fearful cop of Dearborn, Michigan, and he should be stripped of his badge. And quite honestly, he should never be able to call himself a police officer again. And I don't care if any other police officers disagree with me. They're probably liberals, and they should also be stripped of their badge. So, terrible.
Build a police department that values diversity, equity, and respect. one that serves all of Dearborn with honor and integrity. Alhamdulillah.
Honor and integrity. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. I'm proud to serve as your chief of police.
Disgusting. You absolute traitor. We're going to deal with you people soon enough. You are not a police officer. You should never be able to call yourself one, sir. So again, you say that there's not a takeover happening, but then you see these videos. This is a country who's completely trying to take over America. Like, what are you doing in America? Why are you here? You're sitting in the greatest country on earth, the most free country on earth. Our country allowed you to live here under completely insane liberal circumstances. We gave you freedom from your third world war zones, and you come here waving your flag in total disdain for America. And they say we need more of these people. We need more immigrants. This is my issue. These are the most ungrateful kinds of Americans. And again, I have nothing against Muslims. Honestly, I would rather Christians and Muslims unite against the Israelis who are truly taking over America right now. But it's like, man, if you want to get people to really be against you, this is how you do it. If you want to be a Muslim who's going to get driven out of America, this is definitely how you do it. You're going to get driven out. You're truly going to allow Christians to end up siding with the Israelis, and they're going to just push you guys out. And so there's going to be no really happy ending when this is how you approach it. You get to live in America for free. You don't have to work. You live here under no circumstances do you even have any kind of problems. You have more rights than the actual native people who live here, and you are waving another foreign flag in our country. Like, you are racists, you are unconstitutionalists, you are trying to destroy and change our country and turn our country into a third world war zone, and it's exactly what's happening. And now, because we have to welcome so many of these people in, they're taking over cities like Dearborn, Michigan, all over the place, and they are changing the demographics, and they are changing the culture, and now we are going to live in a third world war zone, just like where they came from, because that's what they want to do. They want to turn our country into a war zone like theirs, and then they can rule over us. You have city councils with real Muslims and jihadists who are quite literally taking the rights away from white people all over the country, who actually have jobs and pay for these people to live here. It's the most sickening, demonic thing you could really ever see. So America's going to have to decide. Muslim call to prayer at 5 a.m., or would you like Christians to run things? Do you want to have a Christian country where you can walk the streets, your family can actually walk outside without getting stabbed by these people? Or, do you want your country to be, run by Jews who are going to basically allow this war to keep happening? They're going to bring in more of these people. That's really what we're living under. We're living under an Israeli, tyranny where the policies and legislation today allow these people to flood into our countries. And like a war zone, it's creating that. In our first world, our beautiful homeland is being taken away because of these kinds of people. It's horrible. We need to fight back. There needs to be a crusade again. These people need to be reminded exactly, who the superpower is. These people should be reminded that this is America first, and you have a right to stay here if you wave the American flag, but I don't see one American flag in that video, and that's a problem. These are terrorists. You're coming over to here to take over and bring the Palestinian flag over and, bring the Syrian flag and the Iraqi flag and all this stuff. And it's like, well, where's the American flags? Where's your love for America? We're the ones who let you in here. We gave you the freedom you have, and you want to just spit on it? Maybe you don't deserve to live here in this country. And so there needs to be a crusades. And it's going to happen because these people are just asking for it. Christians had no problems with Muslims first, by the way. It's not the white people who are racist against Muslims. It's the Muslims who are racist against white people, right? It is the Jews and the Muslims together who are really like working together against white people today. And it's insane because they say that the Christians worship a false idol. But it's like, well, last time I checked, it wasn't the Christians who were burning down villages. Last time I checked, there's more Christians on earth than ever before, and that number's rising. Last time I checked, it's not. It seems like these two countries are at war with each other, and they're trying to put Christians in the middle of it. Christians have a belief of freedom, prosperity, forgiveness, turning the other cheek. We also do believe in self-defense, which is going to happen, going to have to have another crusades. But these people really do believe that, their religions, for some reason, are the most dominant religion, and anybody who doesn't believe in their religions, whether it's Judaism or Islam, should be killed. And it's like, well, obviously this isn't the winning team. Obviously these aren't the good guys. So again, look at this clip. This is Sneeko and Rabbi Mizrachi. I don't know how to pronounce this dude's name, but this is what he had to
According
say.
to the world today, which has about 8 billion people, besides the Muslims, which are close to 2 billion, and they are not idol worshippers, almost everybody else are idol worshippers. Either they believe in Buddha, or they believe in JC, or they believe in all kinds of gods of the Hindus, or Jews that believe that their rabbi is God or is the Messiah. They are also idol worshippers.
Correct.
There's no discrimination.
Correct, Rabbi Mizrachi. I can't wait for us to be allies. Watch, the next thing Sneeko is going to say is how the Jews and the Muslims need to unite against Christians. That'll be the next message. And it's just like, dude, like, move out of our country. If you hate America so much, and if you really want to side with the Jews on everything, it's like, really, you think that Christians worship an idol, but it's like, listen, the Muslims at the end of the day, and even Sneeko admits this, Muslims and Christians have far more in common than the Jews, you know. But the one thing about the Muslims and the Jews, they get together pretty well because their belief is that anybody who is a non-Jew should be killed. Anybody who is a non-Muslim should be killed and have jihad inflicted on them with violence and forced submission. How is that okay? That's not a civilized society at all, by any means. And again, all these people do, they want to conquer by force. And it's like, for what? To turn our nation, our beautiful first world nation with beautiful architecture, you think America's so bad? Then it's like, leave our country. It's like, what, do you want to change our country into the desert? You want to make us a third world war zone with Israel forever? Seriously. And same thing with the Israelis. Like, you want to turn us against the Muslims for Gog and Magog in this entire war that they believe is going to happen between the Christians and the Muslims, or the Christians and Muslims are going to unite against the Israelis. It's insane. It's total blood libel, a 2,000-year grudge against Christians and Romans and all this stuff. And it seems like it's like pure jealousy. Christianity is the way, Christ is king, and they hate to admit that.
Jew believe that his rabbi never died and he runs the world. He's an idol worshiper.
He's an idol worshiper. Like, they're so angry. Why? Like, what's with the anger? Like, why are you talking about us, dude? Like, worry about your own country. Worry about Israel. Seriously.
If a Christian believed that JC, a human being that
JC, he doesn't even say the name.
could not even save his own life, and the Romans butchered him, and he was crying for his life, he's gonna save them, they live in some kind of illusion.
Empty tomb, bro. Empty tomb. Explain the empty tomb then. Explain all of the different explain the Immaculate Conception. Explain how there was an empty tomb after Christ's crucifixion. That was the proof of life. That was the proof that Christ was the physical manifestation of God on earth, was the fact that he rose from the dead 3 days later. That is the entire story that the Jews want to leave out. They want to leave all of that out of the real equation. And again, we had witnesses to this. We had people who could not find the body. So what is with that? Kind of interesting how that all works.
This is all idol worshipping. In the 10 Commandments, it says you should not have any other God but me.
Yep.
And making another entity
Yep. Good job, Rabbi.
makes you an idol worshiper.
Like, honest to God, it's just like pure insanity. Pure insanity. This is what Rabbi Mizrachi says about Christians.
6 billion idol worshippers who makes God angry every second of their life. Indian, Chinese, Japanese, Tibet, Nepal, Thailand, so many. India alone is 500 million. China is 2 billion. So many, 2 billion Christians, which are idol worshippers. Between Chinese, Hindus, Buddhists, and Christian, at least 6.5 billion people are idol worshippers that, according to the Torah, do not have the right to live. Idol worshipper goy, it's death penalty. Not only Jews, even a goy who bow down to an idol, who believe in JC, deserve death penalty.
So what are the Jews going to do when they take over Lebanon, they get their Greater Israel Project? Well, if you ask me, it seems like they're really interested in taking on the Christianity and doing everything possible to destroy Christianity. And what is with this? I don't understand. I mean, he just said it. The Torah says Christians should be killed. They believe that, again, Sanferim 15, They believe that, again, all goyim, even the best of goyim should be killed. This is a quote directly from the Torah, definitely directly from the Talmud. This is what they believe. They believe that the goyim, non-Jews, are animals. They're like cattle. And you just have to believe in the Noahide laws. Well, it's like, you don't even honor your own laws. You don't even honor your own laws. You don't love your brother. This man himself, you could call him an idol worshiper. Like, honestly, at the end of the day, you killed Christ. You killed your own prophet. You killed the Messiah, who even the Muslims acknowledge as a Messiah, as a prophet, as a man of the Immaculate Conception. So it's like, you got all of this nonsense. Like, these people truly hate America. They believe America is Amalek or Esau, which is, again, same thing with Europe and America. They kind of put them in the same boat. Jews in general. They put Europeans and they put Americans in the same boat with one another. And it's just like, seriously, what the hell? Last time I checked, there was a lot of problems with the Jewish religion. And last time I checked, again, you guys killed Jesus, who you called your king. But at the end of the day, these people, even Christ said, were the synagogue of Satan. And they killed their prophets. And so it's like, these people are just deluded. Absolutely deluded. They got a real problem, though, when you actually start saying that Christ is the way, like that Christ is king. They got a real problem with that one. Why is that? Because it's the truth. They have no problem with anybody worshiping Islam. And at the end of the day, they have their own, he's got his messages on it and all of this stuff. But Christ is the way, and they hate to admit it.